It looks like people are outraged right now because a girl in a uniform that likes other chicks is talking about martial law and telling them that she could, if they were not going to get in their house, she would make sure they got in their house. But this is where the extremes of left and right somehow clap together and get along like a happy family. But that is false, because that's not why this story is popping up. They are at each other's throats.
What's up, TikTok? So this happened.
This is a message for our United States military, the Air Force, the Army, the Marines, the Navy, Coast Guard, SpaceX.
SpaceX? You mean the program that was made by the guy who makes Teslas?
Oh, man.
Space Force, my guy. Moving right along.
Everybody that considers himself a person that would defend this country, where are you?
I'm at work, defending this country.
We thought the military took an oath to protect this country. They took an oath to protect our Constitution. That includes enemies, foreign and domestic.
We did take that oath to protect and defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You know, domestic. Like a woman who decided to drive her vehicle through a National Guard vaccination tent. But keep that same energy.
Where are you, military? Because if you're leaving it up to the American people, you need to let us know, because everybody's on the edge of their seat. You've got millions and millions of gun owners that are ready to walk out and just start a complete bloodbath. And we're beginning to wonder where our military.
I mean, I'm no expert, but that's not a threat. Because not you talking about a bunch of gun owners going out and starting a bloodbath. Like, have you never heard? There's reasons why the military doesn't deploy within the U.S. And if they did, your little good old boy system is not going to fare well for you. Understand that if active duty military actually get deployed within the United States, that weapon is not just pointed at other people, other countries. It's pointed at you. If you do not get in your house when I tell you to, you become the enemy. Martial law, you know, where your rights get curtailed. You don't have all those same freedoms that the Constitution guarantees at that point. So be careful what you wish for and stop opining about things you don't understand. Okay, bye.
Now, this has not fallen on deaf ears. It does look like there are many veterans that are across TikTok, even on Twitter as well, coming after her.
Carry staff sergeant. I'm a retired staff sergeant myself. Injured in Missoula. This ain't gonna fly. It ain't gonna fly. I'm not the first one to call Commanding General's hotline, nor the CID hotline to report you for threats online. It ain't gonna fly. You know, you think you're above the law. First of all, you got the uniform on and stuff. You don't speak politics in uniform. That's in the regs. You do that on your own time and out of uniform. You do not represent the United States military. You're not the voice of the military. Second of all, your first oath is to the Constitution. So it behoove you to go take your little ass on down there and go ahead and delete your TikTok, punk.
It does look like Cindy Bronson has been blocking people that have called out her actions. On top of that, I cannot find her Twitter account anywhere, but it does show that she's been tagged in several posts where she's gone pretty much off the radar in regards to this. So it looks like there has been senior leadership that has been notified of her situation, and even TikTok has been reported on this as her account was taken down, which it said this. Live access suspended for violating our community guidelines. You're banned from going live due to multiple violations to the community guidelines. Specifically for content violations such as hate speech, we do not tolerate content that attacks or incites violence against an individual or group of individuals on the basis of protected attributes. We do not allow content that includes hate speech, and we remove it from our platform. We also suspend or ban accounts that have multiple hate speech violations. Please help unban my live access, is what she says. Not really sure what she was saying to these individuals or if this was just a all-out attack on her, but it does look like her account did go back live only a couple days later as she appealed this action. I did want to note that Cindy Bronson was not entirely taken down or bashed the entire time, but there does seem to be more of a negative tone to her coverage versus others. For example, this video talks about how this soldier takes down a delusional person, right? And it's got mostly likes. So it does look like it did vary depending on where this video is posted on the reception, if it was positive or negative. Now let's dissect this down a little bit, okay? So the first video, people were like, Nikki, watch this. And I was like, cool, awesome. I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. There's too much to dissect from this situation. But Cindy Bronson took the bait and she responded. And TikTok, in its great fashion, short video clips, which honestly don't allow enough time or context to move forward, that it's bound to cause a bad optics look. This is the battle between two extremes of left versus right that people are assuming, because Cindy Bronson does show like a rainbow flag and things like that as far as her ideas or ideology, that as you can see that she talks about on her TikTok and kind of promoting that against this person that's very far right, which allows for this easily to be a which side are you going to fall on? However, Cindy Bronson, I think, in my opinion from this, didn't understand that when you wear that uniform, you are essentially seen as a person of honor, integrity, person that's fair, that doesn't speak out, and you're asking to be highly criticized, as the uniform automatically puts you a rung up. And I know some people are going to say, no, it doesn't. No, I understand. But for the masses of what the military tries to paint itself as or say it is held up to that standard. And that is why this went so wrong. Even if this lady on the other side is super extreme, talking about a bloodbath and wanting to get down, you know, it's like, she didn't even say what she was mad about. She's not even mad about anything. She's just like, rise up. That's essentially all her video says. Doesn't even give context as to why, which I think made it so easy to support, because people were like, I don't know, what is this about? Is it about human rights? Is it about sexuality? Is it about the military? Is it about, I have no idea. A couple takes away from this. SpaceX, that was fucking hilarious.
Everybody that considers himself a person that would defend this country, where are you?
I'm at work defending this country.
We thought the military took an oath to protect this country. They took an oath to protect our Constitution. That includes enemies, foreign and domestic.
And here at this part of the clip, this is where the divide happens. And that's because the message that's been sent out by the Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, that's talked about extremism amongst the ranks in the past year and the stand down that was required to happen. On top of that, people that are saying the military is now going woke. So that's essentially where this divide happens, because people are like, who are these domestic enemies, right? If we're saying there's extremism, there's a lot of criticism during that stand down against Lloyd Austin that has been countered by himself and many others as well. But they were saying that in the training, a lot of it was geared towards the right-wing side of things and did not focus on the Antifa, I guess I'll say it that way, so YouTube does not pick that up. And also, I'll say it backwards, the MLB, which I thought was funny. Not Major League Baseball, we're talking about the B to the L to the M, but saying that it was not as critical of those groups and saying that they were both on the fringe of these ideologies and they should be accounted for as well. Now, looking at martial law, there is an article that really does break this down pretty well that someone published that talked about martial law and some of the history behind it. That was several years ago that this was posted, but there are three different ways in which martial law can take place. One is assisting civilian authorities with non-law enforcement functions. Number two is assisting civilian authorities with law enforcement functions. And number three is military takes place as civilian government. When you talk about martial law, you're talking about things that are in extremes. And the two examples of this that they've used were in 1814 when Jackson had actually done a martial law that was imposed over New Orleans as the British were trying to come and attack, which was an extreme, stance right then. He did relinquish power 2 months later, did kind of get power hungry, which is why we've been scared of that kind of thing, because that could happen. But on top of that, we also did see it in Pearl Harbor after the attacks over there, so that kind of made sense as well. But anyone out there trying to say right now there's going to be martial law or something, I'm just like, chill. Like, nothing crazy has happened. Haven't been attacked. Haven't had any imminent threats that would make it even a plausible idea that we could have it right now. We're talking about major things that could occur, not like someone going off on TikTok, okay? Let's be honest with you. The military, right? The purpose is to protect and defend the people. That's the primary mission as far as that goes. Like, we're not out here trying to lock down the U.S. population or anything like that. That is not our main mission, to be honest with you. Cindy Bronson, if you look at her TikTok, is very much in the context or tone of matter of fact.
I've got a message for you. This flag, it's for the both of us.
And I've got a message for you. But this isn't gonna go how you think. Here you are sitting on a beach somewhere on the 4th of July, Independence Day, talking about how much of a patriot you are, how proud of an American you are. Meanwhile, you've got the flag wadded up in your hand. Wadded up. Rolled up like an old Rand McNally map, crumpled up in your fist, sitting in your lap, whilst touching the ground and upside down. But in that same breath, I'll bet you're one of those guys that are out here like, you're not gonna burn my flag, I'll whoop your ass. Like, my guy, I've got one American flag in this house, and it's folded properly and sitting on the top shelf, you know, far away from the ground. I guess flag code is also not your strong suit. Anyways, wear sunscreen.
I don't think, Cindy, you're going to win too many people over if you're out here trying to be like, well, technically, like trying to prove someone wrong. It's not a good discourse. It's one of those things, if I could advise you in the future, stay away from with a 10-foot pole like I was going to do until you made your video that I'm talking about. And this lady that made the original TikTok that she stitched to, that responded to, literally doesn't even understand what's going on, in my opinion. Rise up. Just rise up, guys. Americans are ready to go on the edge of their seats. And I'm like, no, they're not. Most people are sitting there on their phones, sitting there writing comments onto videos and TikToks and Instagram posts and everything else. To get people to actually do something now is very rare. I will say that, as there are photos which are staged just to write articles. Like, we're in the age of the internet. To say that there were people that were gathered or something like that, they'll gather together for 5-10 minutes, take a couple photos, bam, blast it on the internet. They don't need to stand out there for hours on end. This is the age of everything is symbolic. Everything is online. It's no longer about physical actions anymore. So, but looking at this, I want to ask you guys down in the comments below, what do you guys think about this interaction between this woman that made the initial TikTok and then Cindy Bronson, this staff sergeant in uniform? Moving forward, let me know down in the comments below. If you guys do support what we do here, you can always support over at patreon.com for special perks and benefits. On top of that, we do have a YouTube join button below this video for special perks and benefits as well. If you guys have questions about this or anything else, you can always hit me up on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, or down in the comments below. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.